Welcome to Big Brothers Big Sisters, where today Congressman Bill Foster of the 11th District is coming to honor social workers. This month is National Social Work Month, where he's going to be here in just a few moments to speak to the crowd here at Big Brothers Big Sisters. This is Lauren O'Keefe, a junior social work major at the University of St. Francis, and a big sister for us. Lauren, what does it mean to be a social worker?
It's really fun just to think of like my future and how I can help others, and it's something that I always want to do is get involved and be able to help those as long as I can.
What would you like to do with your social work major?
I'm not exactly sure yet. I want to work with kids. I definitely know that, but I'm still trying to figure that out.
What got you involved to work with Big Brothers Big Sisters?
Actually becoming a social work major, I went to a fair and I saw the organization there, and it just sounded like something fun to do. I'm an only child, so I never had siblings, so I thought this was kind of a cool way to have a sibling of my own.
Good, good. Do you enjoy spending time with your little sister?
Yeah, I do. I love it. We've been matched for a little over a year now, so it's really fun.
Good. Thank you for coming out today. This is Todd at Big Brothers Big Sisters. I'm here with Suzanne Bly, a social worker here at Big Brothers Big Sisters. Suzanne, what got you involved to be a social worker?
Well, it's kind of a long story, so I'll give you the shortened version. But originally my undergrad was in business, and I was out in the marketing business world for a while and just found that it wasn't very fulfilling. I was between jobs and decided that I wanted to go to my next passion, which is children, and wanted to go into social work. So I looked into programs in the area and ended up over at University of St. Francis, where I got my master's degree in social work about 4 years ago. And I was very fortunate to grow up, very loving family. I had a wonderful childhood, and it was kind of my passion to make sure that every child has a happy childhood, and I believe that every child deserves to have a happy childhood. So that's the main reason I went into social work, is to do my part to make sure that that happens.
What are some of the positive things you see as a social worker day to day?
Every day I really enjoy talking to the kids, talking to the parents, hearing them tell me that, you know, my child's doing better in school, they're more social, they have more friends, just any success story that we hear day to day. There's a new research that's out saying that mentoring does help, and a lot of statistics that kids who have a positive mentor in their life, you know, end up going to college and having a successful life. So it's nice to be just a small part of that.
I'm here with social workers from Cornerstone. They're here today for National Social Work Month. What got you involved to be in social work?
I just really wanted to help people. I always have growing up, so yeah.
What do you like doing at Cornerstone?
I'm the PSR manager at Cornerstone, so I like running our day program and getting the clients the social skills that they want to be able to live successfully in our community in Joliet.
What do you find most rewarding at your job at Cornerstone?
Well, I'm responsible for writing mental health assessments, so the thing that I find most rewarding is the recommendations I make getting transferred into goals, and then clients can successfully be completing those goals.
What is your favorite thing about being at Cornerstone?
I love working with the staff. I have a great staff that I work with, and the clients are really good to work with as well. So.
I'm here with Beth Ann Mei, the township clerk. What brought you here today to honor social workers?
Well, first of all, I always appreciate Big Brothers Big Sisters keeping the community informed about great stuff that's going on, and I'm a supporter of Congressman Foster. But second of all, Joliet Township has a really large general assistance program, and we have social workers on staff that work with clients every day. So I kind of thought I'd come to hear what he had to say today about social workers, and in light of the fact that it is National Social Worker Week or month? What? Month. So that's why. So I'm here today.
What are some of the positive things you see from social workers on a day-to-day basis?
Well, we serve indigent clients at the township. Those are individuals that sometimes fall through the cracks, or those are also individuals that perhaps sustained an injury and they're waiting for disability to come through, or they may even be eligible now for Social Security and they've already left their job and they haven't gotten their first Social Security checks and things like that. So we see a lot of people that we're helping every day, and you know, it's important that we're there helping them, because those social workers that meet with them and evaluate their situation and help them out either financially or through housing vouchers or utility help with utility bills and things like that. We take a first-hand approach. So townships are grassroots, and that's what we're doing. We're meeting right with them every day and helping them meet their needs so that they can stay afloat and continue to be productive citizens in our community, which is, of course, what we're all striving for, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm here with Katie, a senior at Roosevelt University. Katie, what brought you here today?
I'm actually I'm a sociology student, and I just finished applying for my MSW at DePaul.
Why do you want to be a social worker?
Because I was raised in foster care, so giving back means a lot to me, especially for disadvantaged kids.
Good. What do you find most rewarding about working with children and being a social worker?
Just giving them that opportunity to be something better and to not let their past hold them back.
I'm here with Christina from the Spanish Community Center. Christina, what does the Spanish Community Center offer?
The Spanish Community Center offers a wide variety of social services. We have anything from food pantry every Tuesday morning. We have a full-year, full-round bilingual daycare center. We offer vouchers for furniture and clothing. We have immigration services, after-school classes, and can't think right here on the spot.
That's perfectly fine. What are some of the events that are coming up with the Spanish Community Center?
We have our annual 5K that we have every year in April 7th at the Joliet Junior College Prairie and Trails. And in May, we have our golf outing at the Joliet Park District Inwood Golf Course.
How are individuals able to sign up for these different events?
Well, the 5K, you can sign up at active.com or just come visit us at the center, and we can take those registrations there. And the golf outing is at the center.
Thank you for coming out today.
Thanks.
I'm here with Reverend Brooks, who is also a board member with Big Brothers Big Sisters. Reverend Brooks, what brought you out here today?
Well, celebrating National Social Work Week. My background is actually in social work. I actually worked for almost 20 years for the Illinois Department of Aging through Senior Services of Will County, an agency I'm very proud of. And so I spent a good portion of my life, so I feel part of the social work community when I come back here to Big Brothers and Big Sisters on today.
What are some of the positive things you've seen working in social work?
One of the positive things I've seen, social workers play such an important and key part of liaisons between families and other agencies out there. They are the person that really can connect you with agencies that you may not know about. And one of the things I really admire in social workers is that it's a field that you don't do it for the money, you do it for the love of helping other people. I admire that about social workers.
Good. Thank you for coming today, Reverend Brooks. I'm here with Lorraine Guerrero, social worker at Big Brothers Big Sisters. Lorraine, what is your job here at Big Brothers Big Sisters?
Well, I am basically I'm a social worker and a site-based coordinator. So what I do essentially is I watch over all the matches that are from elementary schools, and I pair them with mentors in the college system, and then I take adults and I pair them with children in the elementary schools as lunch buddies. So basically I run the lunch buddies program, the mentoring buddies after school collegiate program, and then I do basically I do all the assessments for those volunteers and children, and just make sure that, they're safe. And then I go to the schools after school and I get to play with the kids at University of St. Francis and Lewis, and I go to Thigpen, Farragut, and other schools in Joliet Public Schools in Grundy County also that we have programs with, and just make sure everything is going smoothly and running smoothly with their matches.
I hear also you're on the school board for Joliet Township High Schools. What is why did you want to be on the school board?
Well, actually, I'm on for District 86 Joliet grade schools, but we work very closely with JTHS. What your question though was, what do I do with them, or how do I get?
Why did you want to be involved with the school board?
Okay. Actually, well, social workers also work on policy. That is just one aspect of the many different kind of work that social workers do. And when I was working in some schools as an intern, as an interim social worker, I kept running into certain policies that I didn't necessarily agree with. And after actually going through some programming in college through folks like Mr. Bellman and JGC programs, I was kind of very excited to do my part in trying to help change policy, basically. But I know that we're about to start because the Congressman is here with us today. So we're going to go ahead and introduce him and thank all the social workers for National Association of Social Work Month. So thank you so much for interviewing me. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. We're certainly glad to be here at Big Brothers Big Sisters one more time with Lisa Lass that does just a wonderful job here, Will County and Grundy and all of the added counties for Big Brothers Big Sisters. I'm so very glad to be here today and celebrating the National Social Work Month. I feel part of this, not only social worker, but Big Brothers Big Sisters as a board member and having a background of almost 20 years as a social worker. We have agencies here, social workers from all over the 11th Congressional District that's all over in this room today, and we thank God for every one of you that are here on today. At this time, I'm going to present Ms. Lorraine Guerrero, who is a Joliet School Board District 86 board member. I'm a former board member. She's a licensed social worker. I'm a social worker former, so you can't help but like Lorraine. Here at Big Brothers Big Sisters, Lorraine Guerrero.
Thank you, my fellow social workers. Welcome, social workers, to Big Brothers Big Sisters of Will and Grundy County to celebrate National Social Work Month. There are more than 600,000 professional social workers in the United States who have committed their lives to making a difference. With us here today, we have just a few social workers that work for Big Brothers Big Sisters. We have Suzanne Bly, Courtney Schaus, Cruz Ramirez, and myself, and we also have a slew of interns that are earning their BSWs and MSW degrees. And we all hold a BSW, MSW, and or license in social work. Social workers, they're educated. We are educated. We have earned our degrees in social work. We have completed countless field hours and supervision. We are experienced. We take pride in being the only professionals trained to work with people in their environment. We are ethical. We blend our education and experience with a strong code of ethics. Social workers help empower people to overcome life's most difficult challenges, including poverty, discrimination, domestic violence, sexual assault, abuse, illness, divorce, death, addiction, depression, unemployment, disability, mental illness, and the list goes on. Big Brothers Big Sisters of Will and Grundy County works with all of these issues every day in an effort to prevent children from repeating these vicious cycles. We do this by serving at-risk youth aged 6 to 13 years old. That's how we enroll the children. We follow them to 18, that are from impoverished households, single-parent households, foster children, children with incarcerated, mentally ill, and drug-addicted parents. We pair them with a role model in a one-to-one mentoring relationship. We do our research. We interview and assess the child in the home. We talk to the referring social workers, all of you. We interview and assess the volunteers. We do layered and detailed background checks and reference checks. Then after looking at the assessments, we match our child and our volunteer. And then the long-term work begins of case management. Our #1 priority is child safety. We ask questions focused not only on ensuring a meaningful mentoring relationship, but a safe relationship. Our safety is a part of the reason that Philanthropedia ranked Big Brothers Big Sisters #1 for child-serving non-for-profits in the United States. We are evidence-based. At Big Brothers Big Sisters, children are 52% less likely to skip school, 33% less likely to be violent, 27% more likely to graduate high school. We create cycle breakers here at Big Brothers Big Sisters, and it's with all of you social workers in the room that we refer to and work with that help us create these cycle breakers. Today we have with us the Department of Children and Family Services, also known as DCFS, Aunt Martha's Youth Service Center, University of St. Francis, Services Inc. of Will, Grundy, and Kankakee County, Roosevelt University. I saw someone from Aurora University, Cornerstone Services, Catholic Charities, Stepping Stones, and if I forgot you, I apologize, but there's a slew of you from all over the 11th Congressional today. And also on the NASW website, there's a statement that says, wherever and whenever you need help, social workers are there. My 5-year-old niece recently told me, she said she asked Mom, aka Grandma, what a social worker was. She said, since you are one. And Grandma said they're like the people at Cornerstone that come, sorry, I always cry, at Cornerstone that come save her when she's sad or sick. So my 5-year-old niece surmised that social workers are superheroes. She then gave me this cape, to her favorite pajamas, her Superman cape. And I actually have them in the room. I was going to show them to you guys, but so and you guys help so many people every day. And I actually do think the title of social work is kind of like wearing a cape, regardless of your title, whether you're a CEO, a case manager, a director. Let people know that you're a social worker too. You earned that title through lots of hard work. So wear your cape proudly. With all of this said, it is now my pleasure to introduce a person that values the profession of social work. Congressman Bill Foster not only professed his faith in social work when he made remarks on the congressional record regarding social workers, he also discussed Big Brothers Big Sisters in that, so thank you. And you'll see it right there behind Mr. Joel Bellman. So thank you. And not only does he discuss the importance of social work, he actually employs the district director of the Illinois chapter of the National Association of Social Workers on his staff, so he gives us jobs. In fact, we would not be here today if it were not for Congressman Bill Foster reaching out to the CEO of Big Brothers Big Sisters and collecting and collaborating on the idea of celebrating social workers. So please give a warm welcome to the man that values and believes in all of you standing here, social workers, Congressman Bill Foster.
Thank you. Well, first off, thank you, Lorraine, and good afternoon and welcome to everyone. I'm very pleased to be here today to celebrate National Social Work Month and the important work that social workers do. I'd like to acknowledge and thank the Big Brothers and Big Sisters for opening their facility today. And also a special thank you to Lisa Loss, the Executive Director of Big Brothers and Big Sisters, and her team of social work interns for assisting with the coordination of this event. Now, being a scientist by trade, I like to take a look at the data, and the data on social workers, the data that Lorraine just presented shows how important your job is. According to the National Association of Social Workers, there are approximately 600,000 social workers in the U.S., including 7,000 association members here in the state of Illinois. Social workers play a vital role in our society. Your roots as a profession are grounded in advocacy and social justice, particularly for the most vulnerable in our society, such as children, the elderly, and the mentally ill. Oftentimes, disadvantaged, underserved, and disenfranchised populations have no voice. But with your help, a voice is given to so many, to immigrant children, to victims of human trafficking, to children with special needs, and to those living in poverty. Social workers have been important voices for individuals struggling at the local level and also at the national level, helping to craft legislation that impacts us all. Social work pioneers, like Frances Perkins, the first woman to serve in a presidential cabinet as Secretary of Labor, played an important role in crafting key pieces of the New Deal legislation and the Social Security Act, including a minimum wage, child labor protections, workers' compensation, workplace safety standards, and unemployment compensation. While these policies have served as a critical safety net for millions of families, many of these programs are facing drastic cuts and even elimination at the hands of the current leadership of the United States House. Programs for providing quality mental health services to reduce rates of recidivism, reentry, and incarceration have been reduced already and are threatened with greater cuts. Just yesterday, House Republicans voted for the Ryan budget, which would end Medicare as we know it. Cutting these programs doesn't help anyone. It may fix some short-term budget problems, but at a very high human cost. And in the long term, we're much better served when those who are struggling get the support and the treatment they need to become healthy, happy, and productive members of our society. There is an important question in life that all people, all men, all women, must ask themselves, and that is, how much of my life should I spend in service to my fellow man? My father, like me, was a scientist. He designed fire control computers for the U.S. Navy during World War II. And during that time, he started getting reports on just how many people had been killed by his team's equipment this week. And he became very unhappy at the thought of his technical skills being used that way. And so when my father returned from the war, he thought about it for a while and decided that he wanted to spend part of his life in service to his fellow man. So he became a civil rights lawyer and wrote a big part of the enforcement language behind the Civil Rights Act of 1964. So, you know, it was actually reading my father's papers after he passed away a few years ago that got me to think about that fundamental question. And like my father, I chose to devote a portion of my life in service to my fellow man, as everyone in this room does today. So it's clear that all of you have made that same decision as well, and working to provide the most vulnerable among us with the support they need. You know, whether it's by mentoring children in communities with agencies like Big Brothers and Big Sisters, providing substance abuse treatment to veterans who've returned from the war, advocating for civil rights, working with members of Congress, or all of the dozens of ways that social workers help those in need throughout our land. But I want you to know two things. First, that I value you, your work, and you, and I envy you. Because when you decide to spend part of your life in service to your fellow man, you can either choose to work directly with people, helping individuals, and you can look them in the eye and see the difference you've made in their lives. Or you can choose the route I've taken, which, you know, to work in politics, to get sent to Washington, and then you vote on things, important things like health care, to make sure that 40,000 people a year will no longer die for lack of health insurance. And so you can help people. And so this allows you to help people by the tens of thousands or millions, but you miss the opportunity to look into the eyes of the people you're helping. And there's a trade-off there. And so I envy you as well. And that's one of the reasons why I chose to hire, you know, my director of constituent services, Chastity Wells Armstrong, who is herself a social worker, because she gets it. And as we close here, I want to encourage all of you who are inspired by your legacy to also advocate for social justice, to be inspired by the social work pioneers who've come before you, such as Frances Perkins, and to continue your diligence in providing a voice for the populations that most need it. The people you help don't have the same class of lobbyists that you see in the very powerful interests in Washington. And so the only thing that matches that is the voice of individuals like you. It's very, very important. So as a token of my appreciation for your compassion and for your service to others, I submitted an extension of remarks on the floor of the United States House of Representatives into the congressional record on March 14, 2013. I'd like to present a copy of these remarks to Lisa, the Executive Director of Big Brothers and Big Sisters. And again, thank you all for all of your hard work, and happy Social Work Month.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Here we can.
Thank you. Open it up.
So you can see
Oh,
it.
there you go.
Yeah,
Oh, look
there
how
we go.
nice. Oh. Isn't that nice? Very nice. Come on. Come on around. Come on over here. Come on. Even though I'm really not a social worker. They're letting me stand here. But like you, I hire them.
You're spiritual, right. You provide spiritual guidance. And you give them a job. Those are both important. All right, thanks everyone.
Thank you.
I'm here with Pete of Stepping Stone. Pete, why is social workers important to Stepping Stone?
Well, I think that social workers have the training and expertise, the compassion to really address, I think in a non-judgmental but in an effective way, the variety of issues that people experience in real life people. And again, I think they have the ability to provide them with what they need at the immediate moment and what they need really in the long term. So I think, again, it's people helping people, but people that have the professional training, knowledge, and experience to really provide things that perhaps non-professionals or other people, family members, just really aren't sure how to approach. So,
what are some of the positive things you see day to day at Stepping Stone?
Well, we're fortunate as a substance use treatment provider that what we see is on a day-to-day basis the successes. We see people reunited with their families. We see mothers reunited with their kids. We see people returning to work and starting to feel that self-worth and self-esteem return. We see trust being reestablished among family members. And so for us, we see on a daily basis that people can and do recover from a substance use disorder and go on to live the life that they wanted for themselves and that their families wanted for themselves, and that it really does happen.
Thank you for coming out today.
Thank you.
Okay. I'm here with Congressman Foster. Congressman Foster, what are some of these things coming up in Washington that are interesting for a company like Big Brothers Big Sisters?
Well, it's budget season, I guess both in Washington and in Springfield. And in Washington, we have dueling budgets by the Republican and the Democratic Party, and they have pretty significant differences in terms of the level of support that they will be providing agencies like Big Brothers Big Sisters and all of the social support agencies that people depend on when their lives are under stress. It's a real difference in philosophy that shows up and their support of things like Medicaid and Social Security as strongly as anything else. And there are important budget implications. How much you spend. There's part of what the government spends that you do to maximize the return on investments, to make sure you build the roads where they're actually needed. And not bridges to nowhere. But there's also part of government investments that are made because of who we are. These are investments like spending on the military or taking care of our elderly or the infirm. And these are things where you can't really calculate in economic terms. You have to look inside your philosophy as a human being to decide how to balance them, because budgets are ultimately moral documents. And so this is why this debate's very important. There's one issue that's specific to Illinois, which is, of course, under tremendous budget stress, which is the issue that in the federal government, in our dealings with the federal government, Illinois pays about, for every dollar that we spend on federal taxes, we only get back about 75 cents. So as a result, the Illinois loses about $20 billion every year in our dealings with the federal government. And if even a fraction of this flowed back to Illinois, we would not be having a fiscal crisis in this state. And so that's something, as a member of Congress, a federal issue that I intend to work very hard on. now today is we're celebrating Social Work Month. And we're at the end of a wonderful event with a bunch of very lively, hardworking, and dedicated social workers at dozens of agencies all around the Joliet area. And it just makes me smile to see their enthusiasm and how effective they are at helping people improve their lives when they're under stress.
We want to thank you for being a supporter of Big Brothers Big Sisters and also social workers during the Social Work Month. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much.
We had a nice event today with Congressman Bill Foster celebrating Social Work Month. And right now I'm with Sam Nance, event coordinator for Big Brothers Big Sisters. Sam, what's going on with Big Brothers Big Sisters?
Well, we just finished up our bowling season. Our next big event is our Big Amazing Race, which will be in downtown Joliet. Right here, you can register. Teams are forming now. We come out July 26th. So it's a Friday night takeover. It's just like the TV show, The Amazing Race. So teams get together and got to find the clues and perform the tasks. And of course, it all comes back to Big Brothers Big Sisters.
If someone wants to get a hold of Big Brothers Big Sisters, where can they get a hold of them at?
Well, they can give us a call at 815-723-2227, or you can find us online at bbswillgrundy.org. So,
Thank you very much, Sam, and thank you, everyone. Have a nice day.